Like always, just to remind us, as we always need reminders, what life is about, because one of the challenges of life is, and probably the most central theme of the Yetzer Hara for each and every one of us, is to forget what life is about. That's why Olam is Melashon Helam, Ne'alam is to be hidden. The world and the Yetzer Hara wants us to forget what life is about, to be busy, especially in our generation where the busyness and the distractions are the greatest probably that it's ever been. The distractions, the amount of ways that a person can be distracted. I can't imagine what it was 100 years ago when there were not as many distractions, or 50 years ago, to be honest, as I've said many times, right? There used to be a time where people went into a car, and they got into a car with other people, and they actually spoke to each other, or they actually, where there were no cell phones or whatever it is, or you took a bus. I remember myself, my own journey, when I learned in Israel, sitting on a bus and actually looking out the window and thinking about life. And Hashem gave us time, or let me say it, sorry to say it, sorry to be so, maybe to talk like this, but I used to be a guy, you could, at least in the bathroom, right? At least you have time to think, time to sit alone, right? But nowadays, right, the distraction, it's not so much, as I've said many times, it's not so much, the problem is the cell phone. The problem is, right, it's not even a cell phone. The problem is the entertainment system. That's not so much the problem as what it does is it steals and robs a person from his ability, from one's ability to really think and to process, to have hisbonenus, to be misboning. Right, as the Mitzvah Sharm starts off, as we said last time in Shir, quoting the beginning, is Sheyizbarav Yisamet Zetzel Ha'adam Machovas B'Olam. I heard over, I think B'Shem Reb Chatzkel, that he said, what's the difference between Sheyizbarer v'Yisamet? What's the difference between Birer and Emes? To clarify and to come to the truth. So one is that you know it in your mind, and the other one is that it's in your heart. And the distance, it's actually great timing, because Mishenichnas Adar Marim B'Simcha, Adar is the time of Mechias Amalek. Adar is a time that we get rid of Amalek. And it's brought down that what is Amalek? Amalek is Melashon, I'll take it here, thank you very much. Amalek is, thank you. Amalek is Melashon, thank you, I got it. Is Melashon Malika. Malika means to sever, right? Malika is what they did in the Beis Hamikdash to the carbon of a bird, where the Kohen would grow his, would have a long nail, and he would flick it off with his thumb. That's Malika. Malika is severing your head, the head off. It's shchita. I mean, they say that Amalek is I don't know what the word, a coward. Why is Amalek a coward? Because Malika is different than Shchita. Shchita is done from the front. Shchita is done from the front. Malika is done from the back. So Amalek, right, from the back of the head. Shchita is done from the front of the head. So they say Amalek is a coward. Why? Because Amalek severs the enemy, severs our head from the back. From the back, because they're cowards. A coward kills from the back, not from the front. So they say that Amalek is avodas, to separate from someone's head to his heart. You can know, I know what life is about. If anybody asks someone, are you going to die? Everybody knows they're going to die. Everybody knows they're going to die. Everybody knows that there's a God. Everybody knows there's a Hashem. Everybody knows the most important relationship in the world is your family. Everybody knows the most important thing in life is Torah, Ruchnias, Hashem. Everybody knows that. But what? there's a big, big separation between your head and your heart. That's Amalek. That's why it's good to talk about it now, as Adar, as we've begun the avoda of getting rid of Amalek. That's what Purim, all of Purim is about Haman, Mechias Amalek, getting rid of Amalek. What does that mean, getting rid of Amalek? As Rabbi Chanan says nowadays, what does that mean, getting rid of Amalek? Where's Amalek? Okay, you could say Hamas, you could say the terrorists, people who kill the Jews, they are Amalek. We're not going out and killing, right? Nobody here, I mean, we do have soldiers here in the yeshiva, Baruch Hashem, but nobody here in the Beis Medrash right now is going out to kill Amalek. The Amalek is the Amalek within Rabbi Chanan Wasserman, Hashem Yikoim Damav. He was actually murdered by Amalek, right? So he said over that our avoda in our generation is to find the Amalek from within ourselves. And what is that Amalek from in ourselves? Is the distraction. Is the fact that I don't have time to separate and to go ahead and say, okay, let me process, let me think, let me be misboning, let me be misbarer v'yis amitz. I don't want to think and process and say, why am I here in this world? Why did I come to yeshiva? What is Purim about? What is Pesach about? What am I here? I was speaking to someone yesterday, and they were saying, they're not sure what they're doing, where they're going after Pesach or next year, or what they're doing. And I said, well, why did you come to yeshiva to begin with? Right? Why are you here in yeshiva to begin with? Right? Why did you come? Or did you accomplish the goals that you made out to accomplish? If the answer is yes, then great, make new goals. But a lot of the problem occurs to a person is that we're distracted, and then we're just in the moment, and then we're impulsive, and then we make decisions based on the current situation. We don't go back and say, okay, let me process. Why am I, right? That's the way a person, before you wake up tomorrow morning, okay, now it's already, I mean, you could still have time, but you can't really prepare for this morning anymore. The morning is here. You prepare for the morning at night. That's why I always say 0, 0, 0, 0. I think I made that up last year, right? That 12 o'clock is 0, 0, 0, 0. That's when your day starts. It's right now 9 hours, 10 hours into the day already. When does your day start? Your day starts the night before. Why? Because you have to prepare for your day. You have to say, what do I want to accomplish today? What do I want to do today? What do I want to accomplish this week? What do I want to accomplish this month? And that comes from process. That comes from thinking about life and having that drip into your heart. To drip into your heart that you start living. You start living the way you think. If you could actually live what you think, if a person would realize, okay, I'm going to die one day, if a person realizes that his time is limited, that basically this year, I don't want to say this year is over, because obviously you have after Pesach, but the whole Wintersman is done already. So you say, I would have, I should have, I could have, I wish I would have. You go back on the plane, you'll be either depressed, or you'll be happy, or you'll be in denial, right? Take a drink before, or do whatever you got to do to be in denial and to take away the uncomfortable pain or the uncomfortable things. That's distracting oneself as opposed to processing and saying, okay, what was my goals of being in yeshiva this year? Can I still accomplish my goals? Why did I come here? Why did I come to this yeshiva? What am I doing in this world? What am I doing in this world? To say what am I doing in this planet in general is a massive question that we all want to ask. What am I doing in this planet? To answer that question, you're probably not going to get that answer to the question, because that's already very, very spiritual and very heavy to say why you were put down in this world. But we could start by saying, why am I here in this yeshiva? Why did I go to yeshiva? Why am I a Jew? What does it mean to be a Jew? What does it mean to learn Torah? Why do I daven? Why do I learn? What's it all about? But when we're distracted, so we don't even get a chance. We don't even get a chance to think about these things because we're pulled away. And that is the atzas ha-Yetzer Hara. That's the main avoda of the Yetzer Hara. And the more a person can keep, that's why one of my favorite lines, and then I'd like to hear from everybody else. That's why one of my favorite lines is, the main thing is to keep the main thing, because that's the biggest problem that people have. What is right? I was speaking to Menachem, I can't even go one, right? Menachem Barkani at Tzaddik, I was speaking to, right? Right? So Menachem, just to tell you about, I just want to talk a little bit about how to learn Gemara, and you can learn already by, you could ask Menachem how to learn Gemara, because a lot of people don't know how to learn Gemara, and they get confused how to learn Gemara. One of the things I know, me and Rabbi Tawil were part of a chabura many, many years ago, right? And what was it about? What was basically the avoda to do? It's something called shaklavataria. What does that mean? It means you basically just learn simple pshat of what the Gemara's question is, what the Gemara's answer is. Keep it very, very, very simple and basic. Now, why am I mentioning that to Menachem? Because Menachem is, Emir Tashem, going to be a big Talmid Chacham, because Menachem already knows how to do this. Menachem already knows how to do shaklavataria, and he knows how to learn, he knows how to think. People underestimate the fact that Hashem gave you a seichel, He gave you a brain, and what you're supposed to do with your brain is you're supposed to use your brain. What happens is we get brainwashed by other things, and people say, oh, the media said this, and I saw this on TikTok, or I saw this on Twitter, I don't know all the formats, and I saw this on this forum, and I saw this on that forum, and then you get brainwashed, and you don't even get to think for yourself. And what happens is when you don't think for yourself, so you have no self. You really have no self because you're not in control of anything. And people are, right, like Menachem drove me, Baruch Hashem. I was blessed. I don't know if Menachem drove me, but the Tesla drove me, right? So like we said last time, right, the car, nowadays you don't even drive your life anymore. Someone else is driving your life. So it's like that with thinking as well. How much power do you have over your thoughts? So I went back to what I was saying with Menachem. So we were talking yesterday about Menachem becoming a very chashuv Talmid Chacham and learning how to learn Be'in more and go into Mefarshim and really delve more and more. And I said, just keep true to the simple things. What happens is we forget about it. That's what happens. But if you always remind yourself to get back to the basics, whenever anyone's learning Gemara, you're learning Chumash, you're learning anything, you get back to the basics. What does the pasuk say? What does the Gemara say? What does this line say? What is the way things are supposed to be? What makes sense to me? And then you build from that. Then you have a basis. But what happens is we get lost because the Yetzer Hara doesn't want us to think like this. The Yetzer Hara doesn't want us to ask these questions. The Yetzer Hara doesn't want us to spend time alone. The Yetzer Hara wants us just to be distracted, because if I'm distracted, then there's no way. It's like dead fish go with the flow. Dead fish go with the flow. So the flow is you're not going to remember what life is about. The flow is I'm going to get distracted. Right? Why are you following the crowd? I love that line. Why are you following the crowd? This is from Yitzi Grunwald told this to me. Why are you following the crowd when the crowd is lost? Right? What does that mean? What that means is that the flow of the world and the flow of your friends and the flow of things is going to be one way. Unless you're going to, now of course the goal is not to be rebellious to go against. That's not the goal. But the goal is you must spend time thinking about your life. Because if you don't spend time thinking about your life, you must spend time thinking about why you're here on this world, why you're here in yeshiva, why am I learning, why am I davening? If you don't think about that, you will not know the answer. And if you don't remind yourself every day, as we have on the profile of the quote chat, is that motivation doesn't last, clarity in life doesn't last, gratitude doesn't last, nothing lasts. Neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. Because if you daily, as I spoke to someone yesterday, that I said, Modeh ani, you wake up in the morning, and the first thing you do in the morning is what do? Modeh ani lefanecha. Thank you. That's the first thing. You don't even say the word ani. You don't say the word ani. You start off by saying thank you. I left a message for my wife this morning. I try and do it every morning. I don't do it as much as it really came from Yitzi Weinstein, from Yehuda Weinstein's brother. I did this about 4 years ago. I used to do this. We used to leave messages for each other in the morning, and I try and do it to my wife every morning. Try and do it. That's one of the benefits of having WhatsApp. Leave a message. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for being a wonderful person. Whatever message You leave. Leave that for your mother. Leave that for whoever it is to have every day. Every day you do that, that's how you build your relationship. Imagine leaving a message. Someone once told me he has a message for really, one of the guys in yeshiva told me he has, I don't know how you do it, but he has a message to leave for Hashem. He has a Hashem thing that he leaves, that he writes him messages. He leaves him messages. I was like, that's incredible. That's incredible. Okay, I'm going to make a bracha, and then I'd love to hear from all of you. Okay, question, comments, please. Yes, sure.
All very clear, but
all very clear, but yeah.
I'll just make a comment. I was
Yes.
listening to a podcast the other day.
Yeah.
And Kobe Bryant said,
Ooh.
"My mind when I go to sleep is already planning what the next day is going to be."
Correct.
So we see even the greats take Rabbi
Correct.
Yoni's advice.
Correct. So Kobe Bryant, right? May he rest in peace, right? And again, and I say this in a very positive way. I love basketball. We love basketball. We love Kobe Bryant, whether you liked him or not, whatever. You know what I'm saying, right? But bottom line is, he's talking about basketball. He's playing basketball. Great. At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, like the story they asked Reb Chaim Kanievsky, could you play basketball on Shabbos? So he said, play basketball on Shabbos. How do you play basketball? So they're like, he didn't know how you play basketball. He like, you take a ball and you put it in the basket. So he's like, so why couldn't they do that before Shabbos? Right? But anyway, what's the point? The point is, okay, you're talking about basketball. So here you're talking about great, and you could look that up on YouTube, all the motivational speakers. What do they speak about, Bensi? Where are all the motivation? I know Bensi watches these things, listens to about, what are they talking about? Talking about making money. Get out of bed. Go do it. And it's great. And but what are they getting out of bed? Anu amelim. Vehem amelim. Anu amelim. So what happens? The Yetzer Hara makes a Jew. He makes all of us. People tell me, oh, when I'm in yeshiva, I sleep all day. When I go to work, I can get up early in the morning. So I say the answer is pashut. The Yetzer Hara doesn't mind if you're going to make more money. What does he care if you get up for work? So of course you're going to get up and jump out of bed. Besides the natural motivation to make money. But of course, where's the Yetzer Hara when it comes to a shir, when it comes to waking up in the morning for Shachris, it comes to starting your day, la'avodas haboirei, to serve Hashem, there the Yetzer Hara says, you ain't doing that. You want to go to the mountains and work in the country and work for 17 hours a day, making whatever you're making your cash? Oh yeah, you'll be out of bed. Everybody will be out of bed. You'll be motivated. When it comes to learning, of course, that's why the first sif in the Shulchan Aruch is Hiskaber Kari. Hiskaber, right? The Rebbe Lapian said that's why he jumps out of bed in the morning. He jumps out of bed in the morning. Why? Because he says after 120, he said when he's 80 years old, 70 years old, he's jumping out of bed he says, what are you going so crazy? He says, I don't want to get the first thing wrong on my test after 120, because that's the first question they're going to ask you. The first halacha to get out of bed. But as Shu is saying, Kobe Bryant's playing basketball. He's planning. What's he planning already? He's planning how I'm going to, do the triangle offense, whatever. If they did that in California also, they did that in, anyone know? Yeah? Right. Phil Jackson, yeah. Yeah, 11 Rings. Great book to read. Anyway, side point. Okay. No, I don't remember. Yes, Ben.
I just had a question.
Yeah, please. Ben Rappaport. Ben Rappaport is from the founders of the yeshiva. Ben, welcome back, Ben. From the founders of the yeshiva. Up in the little whatever, yeah.
So I was having.
He was in caravan number 3 for anyone who wants to know, in the left side, right? Correct? Kivi and Sim. Yeah, exactly.
I was having a conversation with a guy not too long ago. We were schmoozing and basically brought up a pretty good question.
Yes.
I just wanted to get Rabbi's insight on it.
Yeah.
He basically mentioned that the question was like this.
Yes.
I feel myself growing. I feel like I'm doing all the right things. I feel like I'm growing in a very powerful way. But how do I know, we in Fischers believe on doing our own thing and not just following everyone else in the sense, and really doing authentic real growth is through yourself and your own decisions.
Right.
Now, how do I know if I'm taking it to an extreme?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to hear Rabbi's insight on that.
Right, I haven't witnessed anyone yet take anything to the extreme so much in this yeshiva. I think we're pretty well balanced. I can't wait till the guy gets like burnt out from learning too much or being too honest with himself. I think I'm not so worried about that. I have not seen yet that much extremism in this yeshiva. Maybe one day we'll get there. But I haven't noticed any extreme, extreme. I think extreme is good in a certain way because then you have to bounce back to the other way. Yeah, is that okay? So I don't think our problem is extreme because you have to be really committed, right? You have to be really, really, really committed, right? Maybe someone like Yodi Rosenblum, right? Yodi, I don't know if you guys know Yodi over here. Yodi, I tell Yodi to go on vacation and to chill out because he works like a horse and he works hard on himself. He's been through a lot in his life and he works, but he's a yachid. There aren't so many. Menachem still, we got to chill you out. Menachem's okay, right? There are some yichidim, yes, Ben, but I'm not worried about the balance of this yeshiva. I think this yeshiva, the default of this yeshiva is balance. Maybe we'll grow and we'll have, that'll be a bigger problem. But for now, I'm not so worried about people being extreme. I'm more not worried. I think that we have to work on really being committed to what we believe in and being honest with ourselves and being true to ourselves. That's what I experience. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Thank you, Ben. Okay, anyone else as we'll start a halacha? We have a few more minutes. Rav Hillel, yes.
Small correction to how I heard the story of Rabbi Yoni Fischer is that he used to daven in yeshiva at 7 or 7:30,
right?
And he would wake up from the shachar. So they asked him, "Why are you doing that?" So he says he doesn't want to get perceived.
Okay.
I just wanted to say something about the Malik within himself.
Yeah.
That. It could be that it sounds for people a little bit depressing that you have a Malik inside yourself. For me, it helped me a lot. A couple of months ago, I was listening to a long series about the Holocaust.
Right.
And after a while of listening to it, I was getting depressed. Like I felt like what they did to the Jews, and like they got off basically scot-free, and everything that he did. I was feeling depressed, and I was thinking why. What's bothering me so much about it, now more than at different times, I came to the conclusion is that I felt that there's nothing that we could do to fix the situation. Everything's from Hashem and everything's from you, but we want to do something about a situation.
Right.
And because I was listening to it, I felt like I was mamish experiencing it in a way that was mamish making me depressed, and it was my main problem was that I couldn't do anything about it. And eventually, I came onto this thought that, we all know that we have an Malik within ourselves. And it gave me a big nechama that I said, okay, I could do something about it. I could get back at a Malik by working on myself and changing myself.
Wow.
And that helped me a lot.
Wow. Amazing. Wow. Amazing.
Be the change that you want to be in the world, that you want to see in the world.
Exactly.
That helped
Beautiful.
a lot to deal with.
Beautiful. Amazing. And I love that. Thank you for your openness and sharing your personal journey. I think that we underestimate what Rav Hillel is saying. We underestimate the change that we can be in the world. We underestimate what we can do. The Yetzer Hara also wants us to try and fix the outside and wants us to fix, everybody else as we're going to learn a halacha in Lashon Hara. That's why people talk Lashon Hara. The reason people talk Lashon Hara is because they're in other people's business. They're in other people's business. They want to fix their friend. They want to fix their mother. They want to fix their father. They want to fix everybody else, and they're focused on the wrong person to try and fix. They're focused on the wrong person, and we underestimate the power of one person, what one person can do for the world. And the greatest thing you could do for the world is, and this is why it's so hard, is be you. That's the greatest thing you can do. You know why? Because Hashem made you to be you. That's what He put you on this planet to be. That's why it's so difficult for people to be themselves, because that's the tachlis, that's the purpose, is be you. And everyone's busy copying somebody else, when that's why we don't feel good about ourselves. Because Hashem wants us just to be us. We were put in this world just to be me. And what happens is we're put in this system, or we're put in the classroom, or we're put in a situation, and we're not able to thrive and to be me, and to work on yourself, and to know who you are, ma chovaso be'olamo, in your world. And with that, I'll just learn one halacha in Lashon Hara, and then we'll wrap up for today. Lashon Hara is regardless of the form. I'm reading from chapter 5, just because I opened to it. Shua, this must be where you're up to. Page 87 in Learn Hilchos Lashon Hara in just 3 minutes a day. Lashon Hara is prohibited regardless of the form of the communication. All methods of transferring information included writing letters. Nowadays it's very dangerous, because you have a WhatsApp group, and you could reach a lot of people with a WhatsApp. And you can go ahead and say Lashon Hara publicly to hundreds of people in one shot, right? Typing emails, you could send an email. Sending text messages, etc. The advancement of technology has its benefits, but one needs to be aware of its drawbacks. One of these is that communication is much quicker and easier than ever before. And there's also something, right? It used to be if you wanted to tell someone something, you'd be able to calm down. You have to wait till you see him in person, have a conversation. Right now, you get upset, you send them a message immediately. That's not always a good thing. It's good to be able to take it slow. Effortless communication means that Lashon Hara can be transgressed before one even realizes that he or she has communicated it. In addition, technology has enabled messages to be delivered to many thousands of people at the press of a button. Very, very dangerous. So let us be careful, right? That's one of the things we speak about. When you look for a review, right? Reviews online for kosher restaurants are 100% Lashon Hara. Reviews online for pretty crazy, right? Pure Lashon Hara. What? What's l'toelis? You're angry that you didn't have a good meal. Where's the toelis? Nah, you're not. No one's writing the reviews. No one writes a review to protect the other guy. They're writing the review because they're angry at the person or the hotel or whatever it is. It's very, very dangerous. Yeah, Joel, let's hear. Very dangerous. Reviews are very, very dangerous. It could destroy. Now, again, if it's a non-Jewish company, yes.
What if it's like Malcolm said, to save someone? If
Great.
someone just got raw chicken or raw meat, yes, it's
good. So you could tell them. So great. So there are 100%. There are five rules of Toelis, and I'll just name one of them. And if you can get past this one, then we could talk about the other 4. The number one of them is you're not upset about it and you don't hold a grudge. So you're not sending him because you're upset about the chicken. Now, if you're not upset about the chicken, then we have what to talk about. Because anyone, naturally, when they go to a restaurant and they're not served and they don't like the food, they're upset and they want to say, oh, that restaurant stinks. You want to have a conversation. A wonderful restaurant. I personally had this experience. It could be right there. Oh, Rabbi Berg, perfect time for his pizza shop story, right? His pizza shop story that I say to many, 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 many people. You want to say it so I don't, why should I say it b'shem oimroi if you're here?
I'll say the story that I had a friend that's a very wealthy friend.
Oh, very wealthy, financially wealthy, that's what we say. Yeah. You like that one, Zach? There was a pizza shop that you went to.
There was a pizza shop that I went to with my wife one time, and the pizza was nasty, as they say. It was just like, even I lowered the standards, it was just like, I was appalled. And I've been there more than once, and it was like, really just like, if it would be helped us for the Lashon Hara, I would definitely not give it such good reviews, say please. And this guy told me that this guy who wines and dines in the fanciest places all over the world told me there's one pizza shop that he and his wife goes to all the time that makes the best pizza. The best pizza. Where it was that
I love it.
shop.
I love it.
To show you that you have
I love it. I love it.
Is
And Tom Varech. Yes. But the point is, yes. Thank you, Rabbi Berg. Thank you, Rabbi Berg. And thank you, Joel and Menachem. You are 100% right. Meaning, yes, there are conditions of Toelis. One of them is there are no bad feelings. So I think most people can't even get past that. Then you can't exaggerate. That's another one. There aren't other ways to tell the person to go to another restaurant. There are many, many ways. And and the natural thing is when you go to a restaurant and you buy something, and of course I'm a king, so they have to serve me in the restaurant and I have to have everything perfect. And if I have raw chicken, shame on them, and I don't want to, we get angry. That's what happens. That's the natural feeling, but that causes Lashon Hara. Yes?
What are you supposed to answer?
Good. Yes.
Straight to the question.
That what?
If someone asks you directly, like,
Right. So what?
have you ever been?
Right, so that's a dangerous, so first of all, it's a dangerous question, right, because that's avak Lashon Hara. You could set up somebody for Lashon Hara. You could say, is there a restaurant that you recommend, as opposed to, is this a good, it's all in the setup, it's all in who you're talking to. How's this restaurant? Oh, it stinks. How's that? Oh, this is the best. How about I recommend, I think you would enjoy this restaurant, right? A great, delicious shawarma at Halot Teiman. You're going to go ahead and say, oh, Halot Teiman has much better shawarma than X store. That could be entering Lashon Hara. Yes.
Say I got sick, then I can't say it to someone else. I'm preventing them from saying.
Right, correct. Again, you're 100% right. If you got, first of all, I don't know how many times people get sick from restaurants, but I'm saying correct. If somebody, and at the restaurant on purpose, poisoned the person to get sick, and then you're going to get the person back for getting me sick, as opposed to saying, listen, I don't know, maybe it was something else that I ate, or, there are other ways of communicating it.
Like somebody came up to me like I think 2 months ago and asked me if he should stay at this hotel. Me and Joel happened to stay at this hotel last year. We found a cockroach. Like it was
Right.
just crawling around the room.
Right.
Is it Lashon Hara for me to tell him that I saw a cockroach in the room and he should go there?
Oh, so again, if you're going to say, don't go to that hotel, the hotel stinks, there was a cockroach,
That's probably Lashon Hara. But
that would be Lashon Hara. If you want to say, I want you to know, a great hotel, this and that, we happen to, maybe check it out, maybe, or how about this, there's another hotel, and you make it in a way, we could talk about Toelis, it's a whole massive conversation, but it's like the Nish Shabbos Geret, you've heard that one? You're not allowed to talk about something on Shabbos, right? So people say Nish Shabbos Geret, and they start talking about it on the Shabbos. So people think if you use the words Litoelis, that means that, the restaurant stinks, Litoelis, now it's mutter. No, it doesn't work like that. Hashem should help all of us. We should have, beautiful. Thank you. Shimi, I like your question, guys. Great questions. Hashem should help us all. We should all be zocha to get rid of our Amalek within us, as Rav Hillel inspired us to say, is that the Amalek within you is the only one you could ultimately destroy and tame, hopefully. So Hashem will help each and every one of us. We should be zocha. And for Ben, here you go, Ben. Amalek, of course, wants us, as Amalek is the king, Yetzer Hara, wants us all to be sad about our past and to be sad about what I've done, even though 5 minutes ago, Ben, is further away than 1,000,000 years from now. 5 minutes ago is further away than 1,000,000 years from now. So you can't do anything about 5 minutes ago. And your future, everyone wants to live anew and build a new future. The best thing you can do for your future, is have a great today. So either way you slice it, yeah, Ben, I'll let you say it, Ben.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Have a great first day of the rest of your life. Shkoch, everybody.